an underlining, highly weird environment. I asked the question based on there was a wrestler. I can't remember his name. What's the name? Visceral? I think his name was Visceral. I don't know if you remember, but he was like a big 350-pound dude. He was more so almost like 400 pounds. He had like the Golden Lord's, like a mohawk, and his finishing move, he would get a dude on his stomach, right? Get on top of him, back shot style, and just start pounding him.
Are you talking about Rikishi?
No, not Rikishi.
No?
Rikishi, he will put the butt in your face. That's also like, what are we doing? He get on top of the rope and jump ass first, like that. Crazy, right? But this particular dude was bigger than Rikishi. He was a brother. This dude was a brother, and he get a dude on his stomach. He get on top of him, back shot style, and just pound him, bro. So when I seen that, and you brought up Rikishi, another example. So again, my question is, did the WWE always have an underlining, highly weird environment in their sport, and we just didn't pay attention to it?
Did y'all forget about Vince McMahon? The lawsuit that he had? Wasn't he the owner of the shit?
Yes.
So if the owner's doing weirdo, highly weird proclivities, you don't think nobody else is doing it? Come on, what are we talking about here? Like, this is insane. Like, just because he didn't go into jail doesn't mean that his shit, they sweep his shit under the rug, but they keep Diddy's name in the public eye.
Yeah, facts.
There was a whole report of how he shitted on a woman's forehead and wiped the shit on her and continue having sex with her. What are we talking about? This the owner of WWE. So if the owner is doing it, what makes you think niggas at the bottom ain't gotta do something a little strange for a piece of change when you come into the office asking for a little bit more bread? Oh, you want to up in your contract? Pop in the tape, show him what he did last night. What are we talking about here? That's a stupid ass question to ask, because the damn fucking owner was doing wild shit with him and his other people, other wrestlers. So what are we talking about? Did y'all forget that? Somehow you was able to escape the law enforcement, but I ain't forget the claims. Go look up the newspaper reports. It's on there.
Right, the text messages, that's all out there for public consumption.
Right. So how is this question even a question to be brought up if the owner of the whole dance is doing the same thing and got caught doing it on record?
But you notice in the WWE, this stuff has been going on since the 80s. And the WWE has still always and forever been profitable. And
that's why they have to change the name. Back then it was WWF, and they got caught up with some law. Now they have to change the name. Now it's a whole new company, but the same owners. You know what I'm saying? The same game every time.
So that's what I'm saying. People are more engulfed into the good versus evil of the WWE or the WWF, but they're not looking at the symbolism of just even certain characters that they had in the WWF. So that's what makes the question so valid when you got somebody like Rikishi that people supported and revered, but his finishing move is that he will back somebody up, you know, to the turnbuckle with the hands like this, and he backed his butt in their face, and the whole crowd went crazy. Same thing with Visceral. I think that's his name, where he put grown men on their stomach, got on top of them back shot style, was giving them back shots, and the crowd was like, "Yeah, get him."
Yeah, Vince McMahon okayed all that shit. You have to go to him and ask, "Yo, can I do this finishing move?" Oh yeah, you got my okay, you got my approval. So what are you talking about?
But when do the responsibility becomes on the viewer as well? Because the viewers is like, "Yeah, wow, he's pumping them," like, and so nobody in the crowd was like, "Yeah, nah, that ain't it. I'm not supporting him pounding on the dude. I can understand you suplex somebody off the top rope, You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a drop kick. You know what I'm saying? But you taking a man and putting him stomach style, back shot style, and you going crazy, that's not something to cheer about. That's not necessarily a Vince McMahon thing. That's also a viewer thing as well, too.
The entertainment is so good that you gloss over a lot of the stuff. If you go back to old shit that you used to watch, you glossed over a lot of things because of the entertainment, and they know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're able to get your money. So you approved of the shit when you paid for it. Mm-hmm. You approved of the shit when you watching it. When they see the viewership at home is way up, you approved of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't like it, change the channel. Don't pay attention to it. Don't buy into it. And I bet you that whole system will crumble. But there's too many people that love this shit. So they're gonna do what they do.
Mm-hmm. So, but you would think that any bros are really around. It's like, yeah, nah, Vince. Like, yo, give him a different finishing move, because remember, Vince McMahon and they not just him, but they had a system. When you're a new wrestler, they come up with what? They come up with your persona. They come up with the colors that you wear. They come up with your music. They come up with your. You had to have like a pre-move, right? And then you have the finishing move. Every wrestler has that. He has the pre-move, and then he has the finishing move, right? So if y'all in charge of all that, y'all swag team or whatever you call that with the WWE or whatever the case may be, they build a highly weird culture where the fans is looking at it, and they still kept their fans based on this type of dealings. And it's just weird. Like even, for example, right? I mess with Shawn Michaels, meaning I like Shawn Michaels as a wrestler, right? Because he was wild machismo. His persona wasn't. He was like a pretty boy, right? But what was his finishing move? He would drop kick your ass, right? And the most gangster thing I've ever seen Shawn Michaels do was drop kick Brutus the Beefcake through the goddamn barbershop glass and blood everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Mad machismo. Get this hot kick to your chin and fall through the glass. But then you got some other dudes who taking other 300-pound men, putting them face down, stomach style, and just pounding away. And the crowd was like, yeah. Like, that's just crazy to me. So the way they mixed that up, put it all into a pot, and just gave it to the viewing public, and people just ate it up. And we don't realize that we are perpetuating this type of behavior.
That's a fact. Once we realize that the power is in us, the power is in our viewership, the power is in what we pay attention to, and we don't want to pay attention to half this shit no more. Once we stop doing it, a lot of these shits will just gonna crumble. It just takes up to the viewers to finally wake up and realize that. But if you love something so much, like wrestling, like come on, son. Like, we know it's been fake for how long? You still watching this shit? Like, come on, son.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But again, not to knock nobody's what they like and love, but at some point you have to come into some conscious realization about what you're viewing.
Mm-hmm.
At some point. You know what I'm saying? So whenever that happens, maybe they won't have no bread no more in some of these salacious entertainment stuff that they be doing.
Because I'm not gonna lie, growing up in wrestling, I loved wrestling. Growing up into it, because it looks like good versus evil, the bad guy versus the good guy, and it's like, yo, they gonna show up and show out. It's beef. When they see each other, yo, it's beef. Jake the Snake, when he see Travis and Rick Rude, it's beef. He gonna, take his real live python snake out the bag and throw it on this dude, and he gonna go run. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but when you add that into the highly weird, is like, yo, and it's stuff that we as the viewing public didn't, at least for kids.
I just always thought it was weird when Vince McMahon started bringing his family into some part of the storyline. Then he had his daughter running the shit, and she was dealing with Triple H. It was just mad weird. Like, after a while, I'm like, yo, what is this, man? I just stopped watching this. Like,
yeah.
Then you got your son. He don't even wrestle, but now all of a sudden he's smacking down Triple H. Like, how are he doing this?
Right.
What? He was behind the desk. Now all of a sudden he throwing elbows on niggas.
Right.
Get out of here, son.
Especially with Triple H. That's OG.
I'm waiting for The Rock to body slam him, but you got your son doing it. Nah,
Right.
son, what's going on here, son?
Right. Shout out to Ro and Jack. Thank you again for supporting the show. As always, what will y'all signature moves be? As a little kid, I was always a fan of the. I just said it, I was always a fan of the kick, man. That Shawn Michaels swift kick to the chin was just undeniable, and it was real masculine, real machismo. Take this kick to the chin, bro. You know what I'm saying? That kick to the chin to Brutus the Beefcake through the glass. You know what I'm saying? Was top tier. You know what I mean? So that would be my finishing move. I'll just take a Shawn Michaels kick. Pause. You know? So shout out.